Hello, everybody. Welcome to another interesting day on planet Earth. And I'm coming today, I've just finished our New Earth Academy classes for the year. And in the New Earth Academy class, we talk about a lot of different things, but specifically we focus on the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi. And so today we went to the Temple of the Soul to find our soul word for the coming year. And it's always fun to take people to the Temple of their soul and really get their guiding light. But along the way, we were discussing something that I brought to the class about 6 weeks ago about the difference between frequency and vibration. And unfortunately, what we've learned, especially over the last 3 years, is some of the words that we've been using over decades and perhaps centuries have had an inverted meaning. And we've never been told the truth about our reality, about the words we use, the frequency they have, and how that affects our world around us. And so, interestingly enough, in our discussion today, when we were talking about how we're told that we're eternal beings, that our soul is eternal, our physical body is eternal, the world around us is eternal, it makes no sense then that we look at our body and think, oh, no, but you're not. That is part of the inversion that we have been sold. But let me talk a little bit about frequency and vibration. And I know this is probably going to take more than the normal person's time of focus, but to stay with me, I won't keep you too long, but it's important that you understand this. So I'm going to just read a little bit from the class that I presented about 6 weeks ago. I went into quite a lot of detail, so I'm only picking out little excerpts around this. So what is frequency? Frequency can be expressed in many ways. At its core, it is an expression of energy, and this energy expresses itself in waveforms. However, it is actually made of cyclic patterns of scalar waves, of standing waves that flash on and off, causing it to pop in and out of existence. So when we think, when we're focused, when we're concentrating, we are also sending a standing wave of our consciousness. So what we focus on, we create. So let me give you the difference between frequency and vibration. And another word that you may have not understood properly is oscillation. So vibration occurs when energy contracts towards the center point from which it first came out of. Oscillation happens when the energy expands away from the center point, and frequency is achieved when one pattern or cycle of vibration and oscillation occurs. In other words, when the energy unit is done contracting and expanding, it is created one frequency pattern. And how fast an energy unit contracts, which is vibration, and expands, which is oscillation, will determine the frequency rate of all things. So when you say, I'm raising my vibration, you're actually lowering your frequency. I'll give you in terms of other ways of understanding this. For anybody that understands emotional frequencies, so if you are in shame, I'm not good enough, you are in 20 hertz. So you're in a very low frequency. If you're at the level of courage, and many of us have had to have courage over the last 2 or 3 years, that brings you up to the level of 200 hertz. And when we're in our heart, we're in 528 hertz. So it's really important to understand you want to raise your frequency, raise your oscillation so that you're raising your frequency. So when we set an intention or objective of raising our vibration, you're actually lowering your own frequency rate. So it's really important to understand as we raise our frequency will actually increase what is happening for your higher particles of pulsation of your body and your energy. So as the frequency rate of matter increases or flashes faster, the matter becomes lighter and less dense. And since our body is made of matter, it also becomes lighter and less dense as our frequency increases. Now, even if you want to take some examples, we were discussing today how sometimes talk about the collective thinking or the frequency that the dark systems play into us. You feel like sometimes that you're walking around with lead boots, you're dragging yourself as if the energy, and we talk about it, the energy is really heavy today. So this is how we're starting to talk about it. The energy is very dense and not light. When we're in our heart, we're in more joy, when we're experiencing wonder, we are in a lighter state. So frequency gives matter uniqueness and characteristics, so that when the consciousness of our mind and body process the energy patterns of objects, we see shapes and colors and textures. That's what we see with our optical system, which picks up electrical impulses, colors and textures, and then processes at the very dark place at the back of our mind, which is where we really see. The combination of frequency, vibration, oscillation are some of the major energy properties that organize matter into geometric shapes. And why am I talking about geometric shapes? Because they're the harmony of creation. Just look in nature how everything is organized in geometric shape. Even our body has a geometric shape. And these geometric shapes give matter life and the ability to structure itself into physical objects. So in simple terms, it's the oscillation you want to increase, not the vibration. And we have been misunderstanding this through the New Age teachings, which unfortunately has had some dark aspects infiltrated into that to take us off where we should be going. And I think we have focused on totally the opposite of what we need to do. And so therefore, you don't want to raise your vibration, because you're actually lowering your frequency through contraction, and you're actually manifesting into lower dimensions where you become more dense. And the whole point of the control system is to keep us dense in a 3D matrix. And where we're shifting to, and where they talk about ascension or evolving into higher states of consciousness or accessing our light body, then we want raising our oscillation. So we're pulling in more frequency, more light into our physical body, so that we're feeling more lighter. And that's where you get the terms. So it's really important to understand that, because our body has a consciousness that listens to what we say physically and unconsciously to our thoughts. So when we talk to our body and we tell it to refine the oscillation into light, so we can consciously say, refine my oscillation so that it is more light. That means more on, more frequency, until we become real into a physical manifestation, but in the rhythm of a new frequency, which we call 5-dimensional frequency. And that place and moment to understand that is right now. We are starting to create a different harmonic octave. So think of ourselves in a big orchestra, and we're in the orchestra playing the trombone. And if you've ever heard brass at any stage and they happen to play the wrong note, or if you're listening to a violin and it's too squeaky, it really ruins that whole beautiful piece of music, and the orchestra is a little off. Well, that's exactly what happens to our physical body when we create density and dis-ease in our physical body. We also see that in our consciousness. We also see it in what we manifest in the physical reality. So what we're wanting to do then is, from a spiritual concept for our conscious creation, is for a state of unconditional love. So that means no judgment, that we're participating in the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would have do unto you, and watching our thoughts, watching our words, our actions, and combining it with the oscillation of light, so blending it together. So very much the dark systems have been having us lower our vibration, and they do that by showing us images on the television and telling us how bad things are, which then definitely lowers your vibration. And so this is why it's really important to switch off the telly, and start to tune into your heart, into your soul, and start to really get the wisdom that is there. Very much what we focus on. And very shortly, I'll come back and do a beautiful journey to your soul. And so watch for upcoming video, and I'll take you through a little exercise where we can journey to the temple of our soul and get some wisdom for ourselves, where we take into 2024. So please raise your oscillations so your frequency of light is a lot higher in your physical body, in your thoughts, and in reality. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye for now.